10 perennial vegetables you can grow once and harvest forever. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Earthly Delights, where every leaf has a story and every garden is a chance to grow something extraordinary. If you've ever dreamed of stepping outside each spring to find fresh food already waiting for you, no replanting, no rush, just nature quietly doing her work, this video is made for you. You're likely someone who loves the calm of gardening, who feels joy when new shoots appear after rain, and who believes plants are more than decoration, they're a way of life. Whether your garden lives on a sunny balcony, a cozy backyard, or just a few pots by the kitchen window, you know that growing green is growing peace. Today, we're exploring something that might just change the way you see your garden forever. 10 perennial vegetables you plant once and harvest for years to come. These are the living treasures of the plant world, strong, self-sustaining, and endlessly generous. So settle in, grab a cup of tea, and imagine a garden that keeps giving, year after year, season after season. If that sounds like the kind of beauty you want in your life, don't forget to subscribe to Earthly Delights, and let's grow this forever garden together. Part 1. Building the foundation of a forever garden. Before you can enjoy a harvest that lasts a lifetime, you need to begin with the right foundation. The kind that supports not just your plants, but the rhythm of your garden's soul. Perennial vegetables are not like annuals that race through one season and disappear. These are the quiet, enduring types. They take their time to build strong, deep roots, storing energy beneath the surface while everything above seems still. Think of them as the storytellers of your soil. Their roots reach deep into the earth, pulling up minerals that many short-lived plants never touch. Over time, they enrich your garden naturally, feeding worms, microbes, and the invisible network that keeps your little ecosystem alive. Start by preparing the ground thoughtfully. Rich, well-draining soil layered with compost and organic matter. Add mulch to keep the moisture steady and life humming beneath the surface. Perennials thrive best when the soil feels like home, loose, balanced, and alive. This part of the journey is about patience. The first year may seem slow, but each day is a silent investment. Nature doesn't rush, and neither should you. By planting once and caring deeply, you're not just growing vegetables, you're growing time itself. Now that your garden is ready to welcome its new residents, let's meet the first of these timeless companions, the king of all perennial vegetables, the one that rewards patience like no other, asparagus. Part 2. The classic pioneers of the perennial patch. Every great garden begins with a few trusted companions, plants that have stood the test of time and weathered countless seasons. These are the pioneers, the steady growers that return year after year, asking for little but giving so much in return. Let's begin our journey with one of the oldest and most rewarding, the noble asparagus. One asparagus, the long-lived king. Among all the perennials, asparagus reigns supreme, patient, regal, and deeply rooted in tradition. When you plant asparagus, you're planting for the future. In its first year, it seems almost shy, hiding its promise beneath the soil. But once established, it becomes a gift that keeps on giving for decades. Each spring, the first tender spears push through the earth like green whispers of renewal, marking the true arrival of the growing season. Asparagus thrives in zones 3 to 9, loving soil that's slightly alkaline and rich in organic matter. It enjoys sunlight, gentle moisture, and space to stretch its roots deep into the ground. Though it asks you to wait, sometimes 2 full years before the first real harvest, the reward is worth every moment. A single planting can feed your family for 20 years or more. When you see those tall, graceful stalks swaying in the breeze, remember, this is nature's way of reminding us that great things take time. 2. Rhubarb, the bold and tangy survivor. If asparagus is the patient king of the garden, then rhubarb is its fiery, fearless queen. With its crimson stalks and enormous green leaves, rhubarb doesn't just grow, it announces itself. This hardy perennial thrives in zones 3 to 9 and actually loves the cold. The chill of winter gives it strength, and when spring arrives, its bold stems burst through the frost like living rubies in the soil. Rhubarb teaches balance, beauty and strength, tartness and sweetness. Its stalks make delicious pies, jams, and syrups, while its presence alone adds a touch of drama to any garden bed. But beneath its color lies resilience. Rhubarb can live for more than a decade, growing fuller each year if you let it rest through summer and store its energy deep within its roots. Just remember, never overharvest. Allow a few stems to stand tall so the plant can recharge for next season. Treat rhubarb like an old friend, generous but deserving of respect, and it will keep coming back, stronger and sweeter with every passing year. Part 3, the Mediterranean spirits. Now we journey south to where warmth meets wisdom, the home of herbs and vegetables that thrive under the golden sun. These Mediterranean perennials bring flavor, fragrance, and artistry to any garden. They are plants of resilience and beauty, blending the joy of cooking with the soul of gardening. Let's begin with the elegant globe artichoke. 3. Globe artichoke, the edible sculpture. The globe artichoke is not just a plant, it's a masterpiece sculpted by nature herself. With silvery leaves and bold purple buds, it adds elegance to any garden while offering one of the most rewarding harvests you'll ever taste. Thriving in zones 7 to 11, artichokes adore full sun and well-drained soil. They prefer a little room to spread their wings, growing into magnificent plants that can last up to 10 years with care. Each bud that forms is both food and art. When harvested young, it's tender and delicious. When left to bloom, it transforms into a dazzling violet flower that bees can't resist. Even after its life cycle ends, the dried blossoms can be used as natural home decor, a reminder that beauty never truly fades. In colder regions, gardeners can protect artichokes through winter by covering them with thick mulch or growing them in pots that can be sheltered. The artichoke is a lesson in duality, strong yet graceful, edible yet ornamental, proving that a garden can feed both body and soul. 4. Sage, the healer in your garden. Sage is more than a herb. It's a presence, a spirit of calm that lingers in every breeze. Beloved in Mediterranean gardens for centuries, sage thrives in zones 5 to 9, where sunlight paints its silvery green leaves with warmth and strength. It's drought-tolerant, resilient, and perfectly suited for gardeners who value both beauty and practicality. When you walk past a sage plant and brush against its leaves, the air fills with a deep, earthy aroma, a scent that seems to ground you instantly. Ancient herbalists once called it salvia, from the Latin word meaning to heal, and it truly lives up to that name. Sage supports the body in cooking, the mind through aroma, and the garden itself by attracting pollinators and deterring pests. Prune it in spring, let it flourish through summer, and it can bless your space for more than a decade. Whether used in tea, tucked into roasts, or simply admired for its texture and fragrance, sage is a living reminder that peace and purpose can grow side by side. Part 4. The hidden green guardians. Not every hero in the garden wears bright colors or towers tall. Some work quietly, protecting their neighbors, enriching the soil, and filling your kitchen with subtle magic. These are the hidden guardians, the dependable perennials that keep your garden thriving behind the scenes. Let's begin with the humble yet powerful chives. 5. Chives, the gentle protector. Chives may be small, but they carry a strength that every garden needs. With their thin green blades and soft purple blossoms, they bring both charm and purpose to your growing space. Thriving in zones 3 to 9, chives ask for little. Just sunlight, moderate moisture, and a patch of soil that drains well. In return, they offer endless harvests of mild onion-flavored greens that can elevate any dish, from soups to salads. But their magic goes beyond the kitchen. Chives act as silent bodyguards, deterring pests like aphids and carrot flies while attracting bees and butterflies with their beautiful blooms. When they flower in late spring, the sight is breathtaking. Clusters of lavender pom-poms swaying gently in the breeze. Every few years, divide the clumps to keep them healthy and spreading. They'll reward you by returning thicker and more vibrant each season. Chives remind us that power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. In their quiet way, they nourish, protect, and bring harmony, a true guardian of the garden's soul. 6. Mint, the eternal traveler. Mint is the wanderer of the plant world, endlessly curious, full of life, and always finding new corners to call home. Thriving in zones 3 to 11, mint is one of the easiest herbs to grow and one of the hardest to contain. Its roots spread underground like an explorer charting new territory, so it's best to give it a pot or a dedicated space where it can roam freely without taking over your garden. What makes mint so special isn't just its refreshing scent, but its versatility. A handful of leaves can turn ordinary tea into something healing, can transform a dessert, or can lift the air in your kitchen with just one gentle crush between your fingers. Its energy is vibrant, its aroma alive. It's a plant that feels like summer even in the heart of winter. For the softest, most flavorful leaves, plant mint in partial shade and keep the soil slightly moist. And if you ever find it spreading too far, smile. That's just mint being mint. The eternal traveler bringing a little wild freedom to your garden. Part 5, the lesser-known legends. Beyond the familiar herbs and vegetables lies a world of quiet wonders. Plants that most gardeners overlook, yet reward those who dare to grow them. These are the forgotten legends of the perennial world. Resilient, unusual, and full of character. They thrive in unexpected places and give your garden a story unlike any other. Let's start with the remarkable Egyptian walking onion. 7. Egyptian walking onion, the self-planting wonder. The Egyptian walking onion is one of nature's most fascinating performers, a plant that seems to have a mind of its own. Growing happily in zones 3 to 9, it doesn't just stay rooted in one spot, it actually walks. As the tall green stalks mature, small bulbs form at the top. When they grow heavy, they bend gracefully toward the ground, where the bulbs take root and begin a new generation of plants. It's as if the onion has decided it's time to move house, settling just a few inches away to start again. Over time, these clusters spread naturally, creating a lively patch that renews itself year after year. The flavor is mild, somewhere between a shallot and a green onion, perfect for cooking or garnishing. Best of all, the walking onion asks for almost nothing. It thrives in poor soil, survives cold winters, and grows back stronger each spring. It's the kind of plant that rewards curiosity and patience. A true gift for gardeners who love watching nature's small miracles unfold before their eyes. 8. Good King Henry, the forgotten green. Once treasured in medieval cottage gardens and royal kitchens alike, Good King Henry is a humble plant with a noble past. Thriving in zones 4 to 8, this hardy perennial was once a staple green across Europe before it quietly faded from memory. But now it's making a well-deserved comeback among modern gardeners who crave resilience, nutrition, and a touch of history in their gardens. Good King Henry offers 2 gifts in one. Its tender young shoots can be enjoyed like asparagus in early spring, while its mature leaves cook down into a rich, spinach-like green. It grows well in partial shade, even under fruit trees or beside fences where other vegetables might struggle. The plant's deep roots help break up compacted soil, improving the ground for everything around it. Its strength lies in simplicity. Little water, little fuss, just quiet growth year after year. Reviving this forgotten gem is like uncovering a piece of gardening heritage, a link between the old world and today's desire for sustainable, self-renewing food. Part 6. The resilient greens. Some plants don't just survive, they endure. These resilient greens stand tall through wind, frost, and neglect, returning each season with fresh life and vigor. They're the steady companions of every gardener who values strength over speed. In this part, we'll meet 2 of the toughest perennials in the plant kingdom, beginning with the mighty perennial kale. Chapter 9, Perennial Kale. The evergreen warrior. Perennial kale is the unsung hero of the cool season garden, a plant that keeps on giving when most others surrender to frost. Thriving in zones 7 to 9, this hardy green grows into a lush, leafy bush that can live for several years, rewarding you with harvest after harvest. Its leaves are rich, slightly peppery, and packed with nutrients, perfect for soups, sautés, or salads. Unlike annual kale, you don't have to replant it each spring. Simply harvest the outer leaves and let the center continue to grow. The plant will renew itself over and over again. Varieties like Taunton or walking stick kale can grow taller than you, their thick stems almost resembling small trees. Perennial kale teaches us that true strength isn't about speed but endurance. It thrives through neglect, revives after storms, and stays green even in the coldest months. When other plants fade away, this steadfast warrior stands as a symbol of resilience. Proof that steady growth, not fast growth, creates lasting abundance. Onward 10. Sorrel, the citrus leaf. Sorrel is the burst of brightness every garden needs. A leafy perennial that wakes early, stays late, and adds a spark of flavor no other green can match. Thriving in zones 4 to 9, this hardy plant pushes through cool spring soil when most vegetables are still asleep. Its leaves carry a tangy, lemon-like taste that instantly livens up soups, sauces, and salads. Sorrel grows best in partial sun with rich, moist soil, but it's forgiving. It keeps coming back even when ignored. Harvest the younger leaves for the most delicate flavor and let the older ones stand tall to gather strength for the next season. Once it finds a spot it loves, sorrel will return faithfully year after year, often lasting a decade or more. Beyond its taste, sorrel adds a vibrant touch of green to the garden just when you need it most, a sign of hope and renewal after long winters. It's not just a vegetable, it's a reminder that even the smallest things can bring brightness to your world. One tangy bite at a time.
Part 11. Lazy doesn't mean careless. When people first hear me call this a lazy method, they often laugh or raise an eyebrow. But the truth is, laziness in gardening isn't neglect. It's wisdom. It's about stepping back and allowing nature to do what she's been doing for millennia, long before we tried to improve on her system. The forest doesn't rush to turn its leaves. The meadow doesn't measure its carbon-to-nitrogen ratio. Yet, season after season, both grow stronger, greener, and more balanced. That's when it hit me. Maybe we've been working too hard for something that was never meant to be forced. The more I stopped micromanaging the process, the more abundant my garden became. The soil stayed soft, the worms multiplied, and my plants seemed to glow with quiet confidence. Being a lazy gardener doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in. Giving in to the rhythm of the earth, to the natural intelligence that never needed our constant supervision. When you release control and trust the process, gardening becomes peaceful again. You stop fighting nature and start flowing with her. And in that balance, you'll find not just better soil, but a calmer spirit too. Part 12. How you can start right now. You don't need fancy equipment or weeks of planning to begin this journey. You can start today, right where you are. Take a small shovel, a handful of kitchen scraps, and find a spot in your garden bed, even a potted plant. Dig a little hole, drop the scraps in, and cover them with soil. That's it. No ratios, no turning, no waiting for perfection. The magic begins the moment those scraps touch the earth. If you have more space, try rotating your trenches every few weeks. For smaller gardens or containers, make small feeding pockets near your plants. You can even sprinkle crushed eggshells or a pinch of biochar to enrich the mix. And for days when you just don't feel like digging, remember, the surface method works beautifully too. Lay it, cover it, and walk away. The secret is consistency, not effort. The soil doesn't care about how fancy your tools are. It just needs to be fed. Within a few weeks, you'll begin to notice subtle changes. Darker soil, more worms, stronger roots. Start small, stay curious, and let your garden